February is Black History Month, and it presents an opportunity. It's a chance to have true, honest, and real conversations.
4 Toledoans, an artist, an activist, a Toledo City Council member, and 2 local community leaders discuss how far the community has come, the realities of today, and the progress that lies ahead.
We've got a lot of people out there that don't value life, don't value their life. I worked in high school and would have the conversation with my young men, and they say, "Oh, Miss Mac, I'm not gonna live to be 21. What's the purpose?" They're not even looking to make it to 21. And I've lost several students that didn't make it to 21, that didn't make it to 18. That's a sad reality. This is the norm of the young African Americans right now.
For me as an African American, and I have a 24-year-old son and a 52-year-old daughter, I have had to talk with both of them as an African American. Everything isn't fair to us out there. There's still people out there that we have to deal with.
It is a conversation that you have to have. You have to think about what you're going to name your child, how that name is going to go with your child the rest of their life, not just as a baby. When they're adult, when they put their name on an application as an African American child, as an African American female, we have to think about those things in teaching our children how to speak so that when you are on the telephone, they don't automatically say to themselves, "You must be a black girl." Nope. Or they look at the application and see the name. Should it be like that? No, but the reality is, it is. Yes, we have to have those conversations, not just with our sons about when you're being stopped, but with our daughters also.
I understand it, and that's the reality and the climate that we live in, but guess what? That ain't what we gotta accept. You know, that's how you get change, is not accepting the things that you don't feel is right. You should be able to be named whatever you want, and it shouldn't reflect your employment. It should be like this. I wanna find the best employee, the hardest worker, the person with the best values, you know what I mean? A guy with the name that no one approves of has to step up and show the world it doesn't matter what my name is, it's what's in my heart, you know what I mean? And that's something us as artists, man, we just control that flow.
Love everybody. You should not have to hate anyone, but we need to be still treated fairly like everyone else. And unfortunately, African Americans will still have problems with it.
It's convenient to ignorantly look at people and say, pass judgment. You know what I mean? So if you want to invest in your livestock, you know, invest in yourself in meeting great people, do the experience. You know what I mean? That's just me. You know what I mean? Because I don't try to be anything different than me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people, for the most part, are very supportive to me.
I think a lot of people are feeling powerless, hopeless, but it should not be the case. You know, people talk about the hood. I live in the hood. Let's bring the neighbor back to the hood, where it is a neighborhood, where children can play outside and don't have to dodge bullets, where parents can feel safe enough to let their children play outside, and that they're neighborhoods where we actually have a neighbor and we have to empower them and equip them for it.
Almost everything we do, in fact, I'd say everything we do, is a collaborative effort with somebody else. We look at what we have, we touch somebody on the shoulder and say, hey, look, we're going to collect, you know, scarves and hats and coats. That's how this works.
It's people helping people, period. When people see us doing what we do, they want to be part of that. It's just people seeing other people doing things for other people that they want to get involved.
A wave and a smile, it lets the person know that you acknowledge them, that you see them.
We're Buffalo soldiers. You know, deeds, not words, just doing what we do in the community because the community needs it. You do it because it has to be done. Because that could be you, that is you. We're the community. You know, there's no other way to look at it. We are the community.
When I went in that community, I saw beautiful people who come together to have much of nothing and make something out of it. That's what I saw. I feel like just being proud of where you're from is a conversation piece that starts where, like, you know, me and you have our differences, but we both proud to be from where we're from. Regardless of our different directions, this is where we are. And let's do something to make it so a generation to come or has the opportunities that we want it. You know what I mean?
It only takes a spark to get the fire going. And so these sparks in these neighborhoods will get us going to build our city that we live in. That's everybody. Ain't no little me and big you. We all just people. That's what it's all about.
We've came a long way. You know, there was a time I would get on a bus, honest goodness truth, going on a church trip down south. When we stopped at a restaurant, we couldn't go inside. They had to bring our food out to us. That don't happen anymore. Yes, there's still some pockets of problems, but for the most part, we have gotten over that, and we need to celebrate all of those wins, as I call it, because those really are wins, and we need to then show our kids that it's up to you, man.
Simple things that we can do to bring positivity to our community, to our children, and to the people that we live around. And so we have to do that. We have to be intentional.
The information that we put in our murals, I want that to be a blueprint for each area. Like, if your neighborhood has health disparities, if your neighborhood lacks economic education, whatever it lacks, use your artist to create awareness around it and start conversations that create change. That's what I want people to get from this neighborhood. And I feel like it's already spreading, so.
When we do our missions, whether it's our school missions, whether it's our homeless missions, it's a mixture of people that we interact with.
There are people out there with no shoes. I mean, a guy walking around in socks and in 0-degree weather. Well, you got to do something about that. You can't wait. You can't be the person who says, man, somebody should do something about that, because you are that somebody.
That's the key. And I believe with all my heart that we are growing to be better in the city of Toledo.
Very inspiring, and the group agrees success in the future is all about working and building the community together.
And if you want to see the full interviews, go to either our webpage or our YouTube page. We'll be right back.